All right, let's talk sports now. I think it's a great way to end the year on a winning note because 2025 has been that year. So let's celebrate our wins, and we're doing it in the area of sports. Cecilia Morbe joins us. She's a sports anchor and correspondent. Sissy, I see you're wearing green.
Yes, patriotism. I always love to wear green whenever Spring is playing. But when you look at your emblem, it's this real green there, Nigeria.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Yes, there is a flag of Nigeria. Sissy,
in there.
Nigeria won that match yesterday.
Yeah, and I love the fact that I'm in the middle,
Yeah. This is a special treat for you for 2025.
Because enjoy while it lasts.
You've been actually been very consistent on the show 2025. So this is our way of celebrating you.
Thank
and by
you.
extension, the Super Eagles.
Yes.
Right. We won that match. We managed to win all of our 3 matches.
Did we manage? We won all our 3 games. You really do what manage. Come on.
Manage just means you have resources that you use well. Manage is not a bad thing.
Sometimes, I mean, the connotation, the context.
The last time we did 2 wins and 1 draw.
Yeah.
This time around, we're able to do 3 wins.
In 2019, remember, we did 3 wins.
You see,
and
so
we
you
considered less goals.
You see why we're celebrating this.
Yes.
So you don't want me to use manage. We succeeded.
Yes, thank you.
To get 3 wins.
Yeah.
Is this the Super Eagles that will win this AFCON?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm really positive right now. Yes, I know sometimes when you praise the Super Eagles so much, sometimes it disappoints you. But this time around, if you take a look at how they started the tournament against Tanzania, yes, they've scored 8 goals. They've conceded 4, which is half of what they've scored. There's a little bit of worries at the back. But then, the Super Eagles that came into AFCON, we didn't have that confidence in them at all. We just said, okay, you know what, just go. Whatever players you want to play, go, get in semi-finals and come back. Let's regroup, try as much as possible to repackage the Super Eagles as a big brand, and then we start qualifications for the next Africa Cup of Nations, because obviously we're not going to the World Cup. Yeah. So that was the belief of almost every Nigerian. And so when we played Tanzania, some flags came for the players, but they played with hunger and zeal. That's what we've seen in the 3 games. And I think that's what we're taking away from this. It wasn't the same Super Eagles that played against DR Congo when Osimhen was out, and it was as if there was no one on the pitch anymore. We saw Super Eagles who were hungry to play, who were eager to play, who wanted to do everything possible to ensure that, yes, they got the victory. Against Tanzania, it was 2-1. Against Tunisia, yes, the way we usually concede goals late is what I'm worried about. Yeah, we considered 2 goals. Against Uganda, even when Uganda went down to 10 men, we still considered 1. And Uganda, I mean, they made history last night using 3 goalkeepers. I've never seen that happening in the Africa Cup of Nations, just to try and beat Super Eagles. Okay, yes, it was the second one was an error. The first one, Dennis Onyango, he's over 40 now. Yeah. He's been a goalkeeper for like forever. I mean, he has been playing football half of his life. He got injured, and then a goalkeeper was substituted, and then outside the box, I'm sure he forgot how to keep, because he's always on the bench when you have a number 1.
So he's like, I might play, I might. What do I do?
He forgot, and then he cut the ball outside the box. He got the red. They brought in the 3rd one, so you have 3 goalkeepers in 1 game. That aside, but I think it's just the hunger, and he made 8 changes in I think 8 or 9. The only regular players that started that game was Osimhen, Kevin Bassey, and those are the regulars we saw that started the games. The others, likes of Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, Akko Adams, those guys were on the bench, and
Ademola
Lookman, they were on the bench. So I love the fact they made 8 changes. And of course, he also changed the goalkeeper. Francis Zoho was given opportunity to be within he considered 1 goal. But that goal, anybody could, I mean, there is no way. We need to give credit to Ugandans, the way that ball came in.
It was a beautiful
it was a beautiful goal. So you can't deny that. So the way they come up, it shows that Eric Chair right now is having a headache. I mean, a post-match said he's having a big headache, a big pain, because what will he do when you have all your players playing so well? So who do you start? So that's the headache zone of how going to knockout stage. Well, the unlocking thing from the game is the fact that Ryan Alebiosho got injured. He had a deep cut. Yes, that deep cut. So I think at the end of the day, maybe he's out of the tournament, because when you have a deep cut on your leg, and it's his first game, it's his first Africa Cup of Nations, it's his debut for Nigeria. So, I mean, when you're making a debut at an international competition like this, very competitive game, your last group game, and that deep cut, I think the heart goes out to him. I hope he pulls it through quickly.
Well.
He played so well. Yes, that's the head I was talking about. He played so well. I mean, the right back, and now we're left to Sai Samuel. I think Chidozia was him. So that position right now, you don't have that luxury anymore. That's the only position he doesn't have luxury. In every other department, when Paul Notch came in for Akko Adams, I was like, how do you pair Paulo Nacho and Victor Osimhen? You know, out of that, they were both nines. But then it worked so well. I mean, Osimhen was really a leader. Yeah. I mean, you know, I used to think that Osimhen can be a captain. But what I watched, I mean, I had to change my mind. Like, no, this guy, he was a leader.
Looking out for everyone.
Yes. He was a big leader, you know, tracking back and everything. So he wasn't eager to score. He was ready to actually, you know, distribute the ball, be so unselfish, and, you know, give the ball he gave to Paulo Nacho that he made the first time. Yeah. I'm like, Osimhen, why didn't you just try and score? But that's what a leader, you know, that's what they do. I think overall, the performance yesterday was very good. Yes, they considered a goal. I mean, but that's just, as I mentioned earlier, that's just my worry. I mean, how do you keep a clean sheet? But it really doesn't matter. If you're scoring goals and you're conceding less, it's okay. Just go ahead and then see what happens at the knockout stage.
Ultimately, that's what we want, more goals.
Yes.
And, you know, one thing is remarkable from the conversation so far, the psychology of the Super Eagles. They've been hungry for the game, and we can see the fire. But do you see, you know, the loss of the opportunity to go to the World Cup as having informed this different psychology that is shaping their approach to their game so far?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you did not qualify for a World Cup, I mean, they knew, you know, when Super Eagles were going into this tournament, you know, what everyone was saying is that they need to appease Nigerians, and the only way they can do that is to win this Africa Cup of Nations. So last time you got silver, you got to the final, so it's no longer enough for you to finish third or second. What you're gunning for is the trophy, and if you start so well, I mean, that's what brings everyone want to watch. I mean, this is most people would have gone for shows, parties, and everything. I know so many people stayed back just to see the Super Eagles play because they wanted that joy. They wanted to bring back that, you know, there's just something that happens to every Nigerian when the Super Eagles are playing and they're winning. So you won your first game, you won your second game, and you're scoring goals. And our star players are performing from Ademola Lookman to Victor Osimhen, Paulo Nacho. So these guys are coming to the party. I mean, when I saw Chukwueze yesterday, I'm like, finally, he brought, you know, this is what I usually use. I'll use the set. I mean, he was himself, you know, on the field of play. Because sometimes I used to feel that he'll leave half of himself at Fulham and then bring the other half to the Super Eagles team. But he was awesome. I thought Moses Simon could have also been man of the match yesterday. But then Moses Simon, what he brings to the party, I mean, he was tracking back, you know, everything he was doing. We saw these players really, really playing. It was the last group game. They didn't think it as if it's the last group game. They've already qualified. They could have as well gone on to get a goalless draw. We saw Egypt. Egypt made 11 wholesome changes, but they couldn't win against Angola. They got a goalless game. But Super Eagles, I mean, we had more than 8. We had 8 changes in that game, and it still went on. Yes, we had our star player Victor Osimhen on, but those other players, we've seen that Musama has been starting this game. Chukwueze hasn't been starting, but all other players that have been starting, they've been doing so well. And they now brought in these guys who haven't been starting games or coming on as a sub, and then they acted as if they've always been on from game one. So that's the hunger. That's the vibe. That's the thing we really want to talk about, knowing that even when you're on the bench, if you're called upon to play, you also play as if you play your 100%.
And pardon me, this is no coincidence that we're speaking about the Super Eagles win on the very last day of the year. Yeah. We're trying to inject you with some winning mentality, so 2026 will be a winning year. Perhaps we should take a listen to Eric Schell speaking just after the match yesterday. So let's take a listen to the coach and listen to the headache. This is a good headache, by the way, that he has.
Play 16 rounds is a lot of pressure, for sure. But actually, I'm vaccinated about that. Since I come, I have a lot of pressure. And I feel good. I feel good because the town, like I said, is perfect. The hotel is perfect. The atmosphere is perfect. We are calm, and if you watch the game, I can say I'm more calm than the last AFCON. So I try to stay focused on stay focused on during the game, on only the game. I have my vision. Sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's bad. So this is the football. We work every day, we work hard, the team work hard, the group give a good answer today. Because the player who didn't start, because the tournament, today they started, they show something today, so they score 3 goals. I'm very happy for that. So now I have a little pain in my head because I have to do a lot of choice because everybody can play in the team and it's perfect for me. I'm very happy to stay in face because the town is good, calm, and people are very nice with them. We are focused, we have our pitch. We can do a lot of training session, maybe 2 or 3 hours, so I'm happy to stay here. Even if the weather is the difficult because it's cold, but no, we work. And today it was a game to change and to try to do another thing, you know.
Yeah, Super Eagles coach there, Eric Shell, speaking about pressure. That's the key word that I brought out. Sissy, he's certainly not, his job is not one to envy right now. And ahead of the second game, I think he had talked about the performance of the Eagles during the game with Tanzania not being, you know, enviable. What are your thoughts on what the task ahead of lies ahead of him?
It's a huge task and also a very good task. When you have a plethora of players, the luxury of having your best players playing so well. Paul Onuachu was his first goal in the Africa Cup of Nations, you know, and it was Nigeria's 150th goal, you know, when it comes to the Super Eagles. So now, he's going to be facing either Cameroon or Mozambique. That's where the headache is going. And from what a feelers ahead from camp is the fact that he has been watching Mozambican games. Obviously, he has taken his eyes thinking the win because Cote d'Ivoire is up in the group, followed by Cameroon, and you also have Mozambique right the third. But the possibility of Mozambique beating Cameroon is very slim. But in football, anything can happen. So he's got that. So he understands what he needs to do. He understands that all his players are playing so well. So when you have that, the pressure is on you. The last time Nigeria won all group games in 2019, we faced Tunisia, and of course we got out. And that's the reason before the game against Tunisia, we listened to Ndidi talking about it's not a revenge mission, but they want to put Tunisia in their place. And of course they did that. Now, all the games the Super Eagles have been playing so far, they've been fantastic. They've been scoring goals. But the only headache it's going to be having is at the back, not conceding. Because and they've been scoring goals early. So they score first, and then they concede much later. But then against Tunisia, after they scored 3 goals before they were able to concede 2. Against Uganda, after 3, before they conceded 1. So it tells you that, yes, they can score goals, but at the back, yes, they may have conceded 4 goals and scoring 8. So the coach will have to work at the defense. What are they going to do? I mean, when you lose the ball and you're intercepted, you go after the player and try to get the ball back. All the players will also need to track back after they've scored. I think that's what he needs to do. Because if you try to lock up and maybe form a wall or have a train or whatever you want to have, you know, in front of your goalkeeper, it doesn't always work because you have to crack under pressure, and then the counter comes in and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what happened in the game against Uganda. So
we hope that the Super Eagles can win this AFCON. Sissy, I look forward to that interview where we're going to be celebrating the Super Eagles. But we have to anchor at this point, but also take this as a lesson for 2026. You may have lost the ball in 2025, but track back, get the ball back, and let's smash goals in 2026. So here's wishing you a happy new year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kayode Okikiolu.
Yes, indeed. It's good we're talking about winning in the last day of 2025. So let's win together in 2026. Thank you for watching. I'm Bukola Koka.
And I'm Cecilia Mwang. Of course, Happy New Year.
Indeed.